Now, when you think of Oliver Bulleid, you probably think of his famous Pacific Class Express locomotives, like Clan Line here. Or maybe his austere wartime Q1 freight locomotive, as seen here. But did you know this talented and forward-looking chief mechanical engineer for the Southern Railway also designed a diesel locomotive? Hello everybody, and welcome to the first review and loco history video for Model Railways Unlimited. And there could be no better start than this, because today we're going to take a look at the amazing Bulleid British Railways Class D16/2 1 co1 diesel locomotive by Kernow Model Railways. Now, Kernow announced these locomotives some while back, and it attracted a large following and discussion on the well-known rmweb.co.uk. During November, we were even able to track the ship carrying the models from China to Southampton. So here it is then in close-up. Just check out this amazing beast. As soon as you open the box, this model just oozes sleek and well made. It's really heavy, boasts a very big motor, has working front lights and cab lights for those with DCC. The wheels are unmistakably Bulleid by design. The bogies are really spectacular. Details are excellently produced and there are many fine grills. In the separate detail pack you have hooks, spare bogie weights and the route indicator blanking discs. I've left the model as delivered, but clearly I'll be choosing a route indicator pattern and push fitting the blanking discs in place. The supplied instructions and history are also nice and clear. The design for these locomotives was conceived as far back as 1946, but they did not start building them until 1949. By then, of course, the famous LMS twins 10,000 and 10,001 D16/1 were already in service, using the same English Electric 16 SVT engine. Interestingly, the twins and the Bulleid locomotives were to work together later, but we'll come back to that bit a bit later on in the video. The Bulleid locomotives were to share quite a bit in both looks and build with the Bulleid Rawworth booster electric locomotives CC1 and 2. See my Class 71 review back on Mike's Movies for more on those. Locomotives 10,201 and 10,202 were identical to each other and were built at Ashford Works. In 1953 came 10,203, this time built at Brighton with a more powerful engine and a number of other improvements. 10,203 will also be available from Kernow later on. 10,201 was completed in November 1950 and commenced tests on the London Midland region. It was also displayed at the South Bank Festival of Britain exhibition in 1951. By 1953, after several visits to Brighton Works for attention and re-gearing, both locomotives, 10,201 and 202, started work on the Waterloo to Exeter and Bournemouth services, plus a number of freight duties, both now based at Nine Elms Depot in London. Then in March 1953 the locomotives were joined by the LMS twins and worked 4 special diesel diagrams. Can you imagine being a train spotter back then, standing on Clapham Junction station and seeing the amazing variety of locomotives? Wow! The Bulleid locos worked a number of famous southern trains, including the Golden Arrow. In April 1955, 10,201 and 202 were reallocated to the London Midland region at Camden for use alongside the LMS twins that had also gone to Camden. 10,203 continued to operate on the Southern until July 1955, when it too was relocated to the London Midland region. It's a scandal, but at the end of 1963 all 3 of these locomotives were withdrawn and cut up for scrap. As to the specifications of the Bulleid locomotives, they used the English Electric 16 SVT, as did the LMS twins, produced 17,550 horsepower and had a tractive effort of 48,000 pounds with a top speed of 90 miles an hour. Prior to re-gearing they had a reported top speed of 110 miles per hour, but with a tractive effort of just 31,200 pounds. 10,203 used an English Electric 16 SVT Mark II with 2,000 horsepower and a tractive effort of 50,000 pounds. It's interesting to note that the Bulleid locos shared the same bogies as the later day Class 40s and even the similar engine and similar controls. It's been reported that these locomotives have trouble going across set track points, so let's have a test. As you can see, it's certainly tight, but it's just gone through this crossover on my layout. However, it's only in one direction, as if you keep your eye on the front pony wheel, it drops off. Oh dear. These were of course mixed traffic locomotives, so here we see the loco pulling away with a medium-sized freight train. It's now on the inner curves of my layout and appears to have no problem whatsoever. It has to be said that even my Bachmann Peak class locos come off on some of the set track points. Only the Lima with their extremely floppy pony trucks work better. That said, on this locomotive there is a screw retaining the pony truck. If you loosen it off slightly, I have found that it improves things, but you do this at your own risk. I have to say I'm delighted with this model, and it's really nice to have one which doesn't appear to have any faults whatsoever. Well done indeed to Kernow Model Railways for bringing these wonderful models to us, and for the really quite fast shipping. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this very first review video from Model Railways Unlimited, and that you'll subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for more. Cheerio!